The question to whether or not the fight will come to my doorstep is a question that, well, let's just say I'm pretty sure that everybody's asking themselves right now. I'm not sure whether or not that fight will come to your doorsteps. What I'm sure is that things that I am doing in case that it does come to my doorsteps. In my last video, I mentioned to you all that living in the countryside, well, it has drawbacks. It's not as good and dandy as people make it to see. There are drawbacks. However, I will say, if you give me a pick of one or the other, living in the city or living in the countryside, I will pick living in the countryside, mainly because, well, let's just say there are more natural resources. Not resources that, like, let's say, for example, toilet paper or, I don't know, diesel, whatever else. No, it's just more natural resources. We can adapt, quite honestly. And although I don't subscribe to the whole idea of using pine cones to wipe my ass, if I have to, I guess I will have to. I don't want to, though. That's why I had so much toilet paper put away. But the reality is that in order for me to live, I need a few things. I need air, I need water, I need food. Shelter over my head, and I need something that a lot of people don't understand, and that is less people. I don't need that many people around me. In fact, the more people that you have around you, the more resources those people are going to take, the more natural resources, aka animals. I need that animal to live. I need that animal to survive. I eat meat. So that's the end of it. The problem is nobody knows whether or not problem will come your way, but you need to be prepared if it comes. The first line of defense, obviously, everybody is going to say, I have my security buddy, I have my guns, and I'm ready to go. Well, let's just say that it's not as simple as just having a gun. It really is not. You need to be aware of your neighbors. Your neighbors can be your biggest threat. I've talked about that in this channel. Your neighbors can be your biggest threat because they are constantly seeing what you're doing. Now, they can also be your best allies if they are in your group, if they are in that list. Again, cover that in this channel. If you're not in the list and shit hit the fan, you are not in. Plain and simple. So you might as well have those neighbors on your list if they are willing to prepare. Key fact in here. Food, water, medicine will be key elements for you to have. It is better to have it in your location and you avoid leaving your location, aka your house, your premises, your dwelling, whatever you want to call it. It really does not matter at this point. Your property. You may want to stay put for a little bit. Because if you leave, then you are now, let's say that you now have more chances to encounter issues. But if you stay put, those issues, if they come to you, you may have a better chance to defend yourself. But you need to have food, water, medicine, heat source, all of those good things that we have talked about in here. Why? Because that fight may come your way. But you do not want to invite that fight by leaving your place. You see what I'm saying? That's what I want you to think. This is going to become critical in the next couple of days. Very critical. Your cell phone may not be as reliable. You need to have your backup communication, aka your walkie-talkie, aka your ball fan, your CB, whatever it is. At this point, I really don't care what you have as long as you have something. Smoke signals, I don't care. You need to have something because otherwise, well, unless you don't need to communicate with nobody, well, you're going to be in the dark. And I'd rather be listening to what's going on so I can make a proper assessment of the situation than being in the dark. Honestly. You really need to be able to have your own power. Whether that power is stored in batteries, whether you have a generator, whether I don't know if you have a bicycle with an alternator attached to it and you have to pedal so you can have power. Whatever it is, you need to be able to have some sort of power. Why? Because those radios need to be charged. Again, communication will be key. Knowing what the hell is going on in the outside world will be critical at this point. So you need to be able to have power, store power, create power, whatever hell it is. But you need to have power. Now, folks say all the time, well, I don't need no power. Well, that's good for you, dude. Then you don't have to be here. That's it. Cash, no credit. Forget about credit. One of the things that a lot of folks relied on the most is the credit card. Swipe that card. That's it. It's convenient. I mean, all you have to do is just have that piece of plastic. Do not rely on that plastic for the next couple of days. Have cash on hand. If you don't have cash on hand, I don't know what to tell you, man. I really don't know what to tell you. But cash is king. If you have cash right now and the power goes out, at least you can still, get stuff. Just saying. Healthcare. Have your medication. If you depend on a medication to live, you better have that damn medication put away. Your life depends on it. It will be, I don't even know what we do in talking about that. You better have it, because otherwise your shit ain't gonna make it. All of this will be for nothing. So you need to have your medication. We talked about self-defense already. Self-defense is something that I need you all to understand something. And you hear this a lot. Everyone has a plan in their head. When it comes to executing their plan, when it comes to it, it's not as easy as you have it in your head. One thing is having it in your head, practicing. The other thing is executing that plan. When it comes to self-defense, if you make that decision, that is something that you're going to have to carry in your conscience for the rest of your life. And I want to be very upfront with y'all. You and only you will be able to make that decision. That's it. Plain and simple. So the big question will always be, will the fight come to my doorsteps? The answer is, I do not know. But if it does, I want to be ready. I want to have everything that I need to defend myself and to outlast the craziness. That is what we do in all of this. Not anything else, just to outlast the craziness. To be in a better position than those who are not prepared. Plain and simple. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Like I always, rock on, rip on, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.